Hi and welcome to my story time about how I was the worst babysitter. Had the idea that we could eat the chocolates and then roll up the paper so that it looked like it was chocolate inside, but it wasn't, and then no one would know that we had decided to throw this cocktail party. It's time for chocolate. And I could just feel all the blood leaving my body. Don't just go out in the woods and shoot a moose or something and go home and just shop a bad, horrible nanny. And not because I wasn't good with the kids. It was that I wasn't good with anything else, kind of, than the kids. So I think I was about 20 when I got hired as a nanny, and I had been thinking about going as an au pair, but then I saw this ad in the paper that a family in Stockholm, that's the capital of Sweden, and they wanted a nanny. So my mom and her husband drove me there for the interview. And I remember they told me they had interviewed maybe like 70 people or something. They had interviewed a lot of people and they chose me for reasons unknown to me. And I think at times unknown to them too. But I was supposed to take care of their children. They had 3 children. 2 daughters and 1 boy. It was 1 baby and 2 a bit older kids. And besides taking care of the kids, I was supposed to do the laundry and cook. And well, I'm not the greatest housekeeper at all. When I started, the first thing that I did almost the first week when I was doing the laundry, this family that hired me, they were very, very, very rich. I come from a family, we're not rich whatsoever. It was kind of 2 separate worlds, and I guess that's what they wanted. They had this blanket that had been inherited for generations in their family, and it was made of wool. And I mean, everyone, including me, know that you can't wash wool in high temperatures. I was kind of sloppy, I guess, when I was sorting the clothes, and by accident I had washed that blanket in, I think, maybe 60 or 90 degrees. I was so horrified when I opened up the washer. On top of everything was a little stiff piece. It looked like a dish rag or something. I mean, maybe it was this size, and from the beginning, I mean, it was quite a large blanket. And it was hard as rocks, and I was so scared to tell them what I had done. And so I just went up to her, the mother. I tried to give her the formerly known as a blanket, and I started crying because I felt so bad that I had destroyed something. And so I just handed her that stiff as a board former blanket, and she just looked at it, and she was the nicest about it. Well, you have killed it. It's done. It's nothing we can do about it. Don't worry, you will never have to do the laundry again. I will just hire someone else to do the laundry, because I mean, money wasn't the issue for them. So then I didn't need to do the laundry. I think they had a totally different kind of view of what I was going to manage to do. The first day I was supposed to cook dinner, they wanted me to fry octopus. What? I have never eaten octopus in my life. I have no idea how to do that, so I just told them, like, no way, I'm going to do something with octopus. We are going to have stroganoff. And then they just decided that I wouldn't need to cook either. I'm really good with kids. It's just like the rest that's maybe not top-notch. I don't know, kids tend to love me. Then I think it was a few weeks after they had hired me, the mother, she called for me to come to the kitchen, and I went there, and she had bought from the butchers almost a whole cow. I just stood there looking at it, and she said, yeah, I thought you could cut it up in pieces and then put it in the freezer. And I just looked at her and said, I have no idea what to do with a whole cow. Are you crazy? I haven't gone to butcher school. I don't know how to cut meat like that. And then she just said, oh, but you're born in the country. Don't you hunt and kill all your meat yourself? No, I may be from the country, but I mean, we have stores, kind of like you do. We don't just go out in the woods and shoot a moose or something and go home and just chop it up. Are you crazy? And well, I think she was a bit disappointed about that, so she called someone. And I mean, if you have a lot of money, it's no problem, I guess, to just find a butcher to come home to you and chop it up. I don't remember, I think I worked for them for maybe 7 or 8 months or something, and when I quit, it was by my request, not there. They wanted me to stay even after the thing I'm going to tell you now. They had a cupboard where they had candy and chocolates. This one weekend, when they were going away and I was staying, a friend of mine who was also hired as a nanny, we decided to go out to the nightclubs, and we did, and we had a great time, and we drank, and when we came home we got really, drunk, hungry, and then I remembered the candy cupboard. We can eat the candy and then I will just replace it before they come back. The only thing in there was this box of chocolates, and it was this really expensive chocolate. And then I had this really great idea that if we ate, and I mean only a foolish drunk person would even think about this and decide it's a great idea. I had the idea that we could eat the chocolates and then roll up the paper so that it looked like it was chocolate inside, but it wasn't, and then no one would know that we had eaten it. Of course, people are going to notice that you had eaten the chocolate if it's empty inside, but we did this. We just ate and ate all the chocolate, and we rolled up the papers like really nice. And I mean, when we put that box of chocolates or former chocolate back in the cupboard, I mean, it was like pure perfection. You could not see that we had eaten everything inside, and so we put it back. And the day after, I had forgotten all about us eating all the chocolates. And then maybe a few weeks after, family decides to throw this cocktail party. Since they had a lot of money, a lot of influential people were coming to this cocktail party, and they asked me to be like the cocktail waitress, and I even got this like really nice looking cocktail dress. I was going around serving olives and martinis and stuff, and everything went really well. And then it was time for chocolate. So they asked me to go and fetch the chocolates, and instantly that second when they said, go and get the box of chocolates, I remembered what we had done, that we had eaten all of them and then just wrapped up the paper. And I could just feel all the blood leaving my body and I started to sweat. Oh my God, what am I going to do? And they just went off talking to people. So I just thought, I'm just gonna pretend that I didn't hear that they told me to go and get the chocolates. So I just kept serving martinis and things. And then all of a sudden the father in the family comes out in the room with the chocolate and starts handing it around to people. And I thought I was going to die. It was like the moment of horror. And this man, this really kind of famous businessman, was the first one to open the chocolate, and he just, it's empty. And then more people started opening it and it was empty. And they turned to me, the mom and dad, did you do something with our chocolate? And I just told them, yeah, one time when I was drunk, I kind of ate them and then I just rolled them up so that you wouldn't notice that I had eaten them. And apparently, like everything I did that was really weird, they kind of liked, because I don't know, they thought it was exotic or something. And everyone just started looking at me. And then the mother said, well, you know, she's kind of born in the forest. And everyone started laughing and kind of applauding and thought it was like fantastic that I had done this fantastic trick of eating all the chocolates and then roll up the paper, and I can't believe I just got away with it, and they just made applause. Apparently, being weird is also good. I mean, they still wanted to keep me as a nanny, even though I kind of ruined their stuff. That's my story time about how I was the worst babysitter nanny. Thank you for watching. Bye!